Geeks Assemble! What's up, guys? It's Casey from the Geeks with Wives here, and it's time for another Ladies of the Roundtable Comics Corner for the week of January 22nd. So this week I have 7 comics total for you guys, so I'm going to go through them really quickly because that's a lot of information to throw at you, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. So the first one we have is Justice League 27, written by Jeff Johns, art by Ivan Reyes. Basically, this is a new origin story for Cyborg since he had lost his body in the earlier issues of the Forever Evil storyline. This is him regaining a new body, and it's basically that. So he just basically go through the steps of him getting a new body, what it looks like, what he has to go through to get it, the conversations he has with his dad. It's very emotional, very nice look into who Cyborg is and why he wants to be a hero. But we also get some nice teasers of what's to come, and we also get a kind of a spoilery into a superhero team at the very beginning of the issue. So if you guys are reading Forever Evil, this is a must read. If you're not reading Forever Evil, go pick it up. It's a really fun story. Jeff Johns is killing it in the DC department right now. So also out this week, I talk about this every month, Batman 27, written by Scott Snyder with art by Greg Capullo. So yeah, I mean the words can't describe how great this story has been and how great Scott Snyder's run on Batman has been. The coloring is probably my favorite part about this book. Like I say this all the time. It reminds me very much of the animated series colors, and I just love looking at it and love each page. Very much takes me back to when I first started reading comics and when I first got interested in characters like Batman. So for the coloring alone, I would pick up this book. But it's basically a huge storyline involving the Riddler and some other villains. This particular issue is kind of a kindling of the relationship between Commissioner Gordon and Batman. So it's a nice little slice of that story, and then we get at the very end we get the beginning of what I'm hoping is the crux of this arc, the Riddler storyline that I've been waiting for since Scott Snyder took over. So if you read comics, you're probably reading Batman. If you're not reading Batman, please go pick it up. It's an excellent book. I really can't say enough good things about it. It's the best book DC's putting out by far. All right, so a fan favorite amongst all my friends, and I'm sure many of the ladies of the round table, is Harley Quinn. So her second issue came out today. For the price of $2.99, the cover of this issue is worth it alone. Look at that. Like, how can you deny how cute that is? And it perfectly encapsulates how I would describe Harley Quinn and this book. She's fun, she's cute, she's lovable. She's someone you want to take home to mom, but in the end, she's also someone that could kill your whole family if you really wanted to as well. So it's really I can't say enough good things about it. It's a lot of fun. It's really very funny. She's such a sweetheart. There's a nice cameo from another famous female DC villain. I won't give it away, but please check out Harley Quinn. It's a lot of fun, and I think you guys especially will enjoy it. All right, now to what I think were my favorite books of the week by far. So the first one up, and I'm a huge, start this off, I'm a huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan. So normally I wouldn't pick up an X-Men book just because the X-Men universe is so big and it's so hard to keep track of. But this week I picked up all new X-Men on the Trial of Jean Grey #1. And so basically what this is if you're not familiar with the X-Men universe and what's going on, the X-Men First Class of the old X-Men, the first group of X-Men, Cyclops, Jean, Beast, Angel, they were brought back into the present time period to kind of teach the current X-Men, like, this is what you guys like set out to begin with in the beginning. You kind of veered off that path, and we're here to remind you that this is where you should be going. So when you're bringing in characters from the past, it presents kind of new problems, and one of them is Jean Grey is now back and she's alive, and that means that the Phoenix could potentially find her and destroy the universe again. So that's where this story kind of starts off. The Shi'ar have come and kidnapped Jean Grey, and the X-Men are trying to figure out why, and the Guardians of the Galaxy show up at the very end to kind of give some ease to the situation. But it's going to be a fun book. I'm really excited. This is just the beginning, just kind of sets the story up of what's going on and the kidnapping of Jean. But I really think, all in all, the Trial of Jean Grey is really going to be something exciting, and it's a nice crossover with X-Men and Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Must read book. All right, also out this week, we had an all-new book, my #1 issue, the all-new Invaders. So if you're not familiar with the Invaders, they're basically Captain America's superhero team from when he was in World War II. So you have the original Human Torch, Namor, Captain America, Bucky, and then there was also another Human Torch character. Her name is Tori, and unfortunately she's not with us anymore, so she's not in this book. But basically, this book is an introduction to the Human Torch, the original Human Torch character, mainly because this is not the Fantastic Four Human Torch. This is a very different one. He's an android. He's from World War II. He fought with Cap. So it's not someone that many comic book readers are familiar with. So this whole issue is basically just setting up his character and kind of introducing you to him. At the very end, you get a nice picture of Buck and Cappy, or Buck and Cappy, Cap and Bucky. It's a really cool shot, and that's really what I was waiting for in this book. So I'll definitely be picking up issue 2, mostly because I want to see where the story goes. Basically, the Kree Empire is looking for a device that can control gods, and the invaders are going to try to stop them. So I'm really interested to see how that goes. I just want to see more of the Winter Soldier and Captain America working together, mostly. Alright, also out this week, something I really have been looking forward to, and I hope continues with the other issues that they're supposed to link to this book, but the crossover with X-Files and Ghostbusters. So if you're familiar with, everybody knows what the Ghostbusters are, so I don't feel like I have to explain them. But if you're not familiar with X-Files, basically in the X-Files, this is not Mulder and Scully's story. So Mulder and Scully do not have very much to do, or if anything, to do with this story as of yet. But it has to do with the lone gunmen. And who the lone gunmen are is, in the TV show, they often would help out Mulder on some of his cases. But they're basically like conspiracy theory, like debunkers, or they try to figure out conspiracy theories, and they write about them in a paper. So what happened in this story is they've mysteriously been given some information about all these different occurrences across the world, and one of which is the phenomenon of the Ghostbusters. And so they go and visit the Ghostbusters at the firehouse, and hijinks ensue, and we get a lot of great references to the movies, and a lot of great banter between the Ghostbusters characters. Egon, Venkman, all of them are there. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this book. Super funny. I read it twice just because I loved it so much. The art is really great. The characters feel like they're ripped right out of the TV show and the movie. I highly recommend if you're a fan of either one of these franchises. Some people say they don't work, but I think that totally does. And I'm not going to give it away. There are a couple more that are linked to this series that are even crazier than the Ghostbusters. So please stay tuned. All right, finally, my favorite book of the week and my pick for the ladies of the round table. Something a little different. One of my favorite writers right now is Rick Remender, and I love everything that he writes. And this is his debut issue of Deadly Class. And so what Deadly Class is basically the story of a young, homeless Guatemalan immigrant who has a terrible childhood, a terrible past, and his last chance is to become, he's given a last chance, and it's to become an assassin in the school of assassins. So it's set in the 80s, so it's a very 80s book. It feels so very 80s. The art reminds me of kind of like a Chinese kung fu movie. It's very cool art. I really just love the action sequences. There's not a lot of them. It's not a lot of action. If you know anything about Rick Remender's writing, he kind of likes to draw things out and then give you a gut punch later on. So in this story, it was very much an introduction to our character and what's going on in his life and what's happened with him. And then we get to see kind of his introduction into this school of assassins. So we get to see his first step onto campus, and we don't even get to see inside the school or any of that yet. But there's a really cool action scene with the people that are recruiting him to the school of assassins. It's really fun. I really like the layouts. Once again, I'm an idiot, so a lot of time I just get lost in layouts if they're laid out poorly. But this one has some crazy layouts, but they're super well choreographed, and everything flows nicely. It's a really great book. I can't say enough about Rick Remender stuff. I'm just a huge fan of Uncanny Avengers and Black Science and Uncanny X-Force. So If you guys like Reminder, if you like crazy stories, if you like full stories and emotional stories and roller coaster stories, please check out Deadly Class. Like I said, you can't go wrong with the School of Assassins. You just can't. All right, guys. So that's it from me. You can catch all my comic know-how and geek knowledge over at my Twitter account at GWWW You can also check me out on geekswithwives.com. We're always posting awesome stuff. I just did an interview with a prop maker on over 30 blockbuster movies, including all the Harry Potter films, Captain America, and Bond, and the James Bond movies. So it was really fun talking to her. Her name's Katie. It was awesome. I learned a lot. So please check that out. Once again, you can check it out at geekswithwives.com. And I will check you guys out on the geek side. Thanks. Thanks.